Marketing is always changing. So if you're a coach, consultant, or a service provider, you know that you be ahead of the curve and you know that you need to put your service and products in front of the people that really need it the most. So you don't want to miss this video because I'm going to teach you step by step how to do that. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. My name is Marian, and if this is your first time here and you want to learn more about how to get more clients, how to convert them into higher end packages and products and services, stick around, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to make sure you don't miss anything. In today's video, I'm going to teach you what are the platforms and the different ways to use those platforms in order for you to market your coaching business, consulting, or if you literally sell a service of any kind, all right? So it's very important to understand that all these 5 platforms that I'm going to mention in here have 2 ways of generating traffic. One of them is organic and the other one is paid, all right? So I wanna mention something really important. In order for you to have, a complete, predictable lead generation, customer acquisition process, like to have your business to literally put it on autopilot and have it in a way that can really predict the amount of customers that you get every month, you will need to use paid advertising, right? Like organic, it's cool because, it's organic, you think that it's free. Now, of course, it'll require time and effort, which essentially it's also money, right? But paid is the only way that you'll be able to really say, all right, if I'm paying this amount of money per lead, I know that I can convert this type of percentage of people into paid customers. And if I sell this amount of offer, like if you sell, let's say a $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 worth of offer for your coaching, now you know exactly how much money you can afford to spend. And it's not even that. You literally will have no budget, because think about this. If you put $1 in and if you can get $2 back, how much money you want to spend, right? You want to spend millions of dollars because you know that you can double it on your way back. But it's important to understand that all of these platforms have, both sides. They got the organic and they got the paid, all right? So first platform is YouTube. So it's important to understand, right? Like YouTube, it's a video platform. You can only upload videos, and it's a search engine, right? Like it's owned by Google, and we need to understand the main differences between these platforms so you can use them, and get the best return from them. So YouTube, it's a search engine because it's owned by Google. People go on YouTube to search for different stuff. Usually, think about yourself. How many times per day, per week, per month you go on YouTube to find things, to find solutions for your problems? It's very important to understand that nobody goes on YouTube to search from a business standpoint, to search for vlogs or to search for, things that don't necessarily relate to them at that time. Now, yes, there are audiences that want to watch vlogs, but you need to first become a big deal before you can just put vlogs on the internet and people will watch it, right? Like it's very important to understand that, and it's very important to understand YouTube from a business standpoint, not just from a point of, I just want to get more subscribers because I'm going to get paid through AdSense. None of that. We're talking about strategies that can help you generate more clients. So on YouTube, from an organic standpoint, you need to know how to answer basically questions of the problems that you solve for your clients. Like go through your emails. Like if you run, out of ideas about how to create content for YouTube, the same way that I'm doing it now, I look on YouTube on how to get more clients for your coaching business, how to market, and then I see what people are searching for, right? Like YouTube is the first place that you should go. Like, yeah, there are more advanced platforms like, keywords everywhere and Google AdWords Keyword Planner, a lot of others like SEMrush. So we're not going to talk about those too much. It's very important to understand that you can go on YouTube and search for related keywords that you think your customer may search for, and then see what's the volume of those searches. Based on that, and then of course, look who's ranking first, who's doing, check the channel to see what kind of authority they have. Can you create a better piece of content? Can you create a better video for that? If you can, cool, go for it. Make sure that you solve a problem in that video. And of course, people will watch, right? It's very important to understand that. Now, from an organic standpoint, you need to optimize your titles, your description, your tags. Of course, you need to find a way to be suggested in the other videos. Like at the end of this video, you'll see that YouTube will recommend you to watch another video of mine, right? Like that's a strategy for that. But you don't need to implement everything that I'm gonna talk about today, but understand both ways and both sides of the platform so you know how to use it properly. So very important, create problem-solving content for YouTube, optimize your titles, your tags, your description. Put in the description the links of your lead magnet, the links for your ebooks, blueprints, free courses, Facebook group, whatever it is, put it in the description of the video. Take a look at the description of this video and see the type of links that I have in there. If you look in the description, I'm inviting you to subscribe to my channel, to download one of my blueprints, to join a Facebook group, to sign up for a free course of mine. All of these things, you can do the same thing for your channel, for your videos, all right? The organic side of it is essentially trying to rank for those keywords and for those phrases on a long-term basis, because YouTube, it's a long-term game. And, you know, from that, your goal should be to generate leads. So it's very important to optimize your channel for that type of stuff. You know, if you're a health coach, don't have a channel that you talk about makeup. You know, when you get to a point at a pretty deep level, at a whole like influencer, you know, you get hundreds of thousands of subscribers, then you can talk about multiple things. But at the beginning, focus on solving a couple of the problems that your customers have. And more importantly, try to, you know, create content around the biggest problem that your clients have. And that way you'll be, you know, leading your audience. Like you'll literally be the authority in your space because you create problem-solving content, and therefore, you know, they'll want to find out more about you, right? So that's the organic part. Now, when we go to paid, YouTube has, you know, multiple ways that you can create YouTube ads, but the ones that I'm gonna mention in here, they're two, in my opinion, the ones that you can get a real quick result, and the other one is where you can grow the audience that watch your content. But it's very important when you create the content for YouTube, optimize that content to be talking to your audience, to your potential clients. Therefore, when you decide to run paid ads, now you don't need to create new content because now you already have it optimized for your ideal clients, right? Like for example, when I'm promoting this video around keywords that maybe I'm not ranking for, and I'm targeting people that are searching for different phrases, like how to get more clients or how to blah, blah, blah. And I know that I can rank for those videos because maybe first 10 positions are channels that are like way more, that have more authority that I have. Then I'll just run an ad to the same video. But now YouTube is gonna reward me because I'm gonna get more paid views on my video. People will wanna watch and they'll wanna watch more. So they'll, you know, watch more of my videos. So I hope that makes sense. There are two ways, like I said, for paid. One, I would say short term, just because you can get a real result. So for example, if you're trying to get new leads, new webinar registrations, maybe people to download more ebooks from you, people to sign up for your free courses, whatever it is, you would run in-stream ads. Those in-stream ads are those skippable ads that, you know, you can skip them after 3 seconds at the beginning of the video. And I know some of you will say, yeah, but those are annoying, I hate them. Well, they're annoying, but if you know who to target, like they're annoying when people are running ads on a channel that you're not there to, like for example, if you're a health coach and you're trying to find out how to get more clients and you search for that and you want to click one of my videos and all of a sudden Gary Vee runs a video ad that says, buy my sneaker, of course, at that point, you'll get annoyed, right? Like, I know I gave an example now that is kind of funny, but you'll get the point. You need to know when and where, and of course, the messaging of that in-stream ad, it's very important. So for example, if you're a health coach or a relationship coach, come up with a phrase that you know your training is about. So let's say you do a webinar about, so let's say, for instance, if you're a health coach, right? And you want to get more webinar sign up. So, and your webinar talks about how to lose more weight. You'll take that phrase, how to lose weight, and you'll target your video ad around that phrase and maybe a couple different things around the same frames with different keywords, but around the same topic. So in your video, you'll say, oh, so if you're looking to lose more weight, but everything seems so complicated so far, what I did is I actually put together this free training class that you can watch right now. Just click the link somewhere on this video and it's gonna take you there. It's a free training. I can't wait to see you there. Literally 5 to 7 seconds, but it's more important because you only target people that search for that phrase. So those skippable ads are annoying when they're done without a strategy on the back end. So I hope now you have an aha moment and you understand how powerful they are, because if you run them properly, you can get an insane result. One, not a lot of people are doing it. Two, they're powerful because you hit the client exactly at the stage, like at a really low level in the funnel, where, oh, I want to learn more about that. I'll click and I'll watch, right? So it's very, very powerful. Now the second, and that's, like I said, it's in-stream. So I'll put in-stream ads, right? And then two, so again, in-stream ads are the ones that you target people the first couple seconds of a video. And then we got two discovery ads. And by the way, I know my handwriting is not the best, but hopefully the value that you get out of it beats that. So two is discovery ad. Discovery ads come into place where, let's say, for example, this video that I'm doing right now, I have no way to rank it on first or second or the third position on YouTube searches around the topic of how to market your coaching business. Well, if those channels that have content around this topic are way bigger than mine and they have tens of thousands of views around it, what I'll do is I'll grab all of those keywords and phrases and then I'll run discovery ads. So discovery ads is I'll show up first in the results, regardless how the channel that have other videos around that have, because I'll be the one paying YouTube to outrank all of them. Now, the difference between these two is, organic, it'll rank most likely. If you get a video up in the first couple positions of the searches, it can stay there for years and years. Paid, for example, once you stop paying, you're not ranking unless you do it in a way, like I said, I will run discovery ads around this topic with multiple phrases. That way it's gonna help the YouTube organic as long as I do it in the first 48 hours of me launching the video, because it's very important when you launch a video on YouTube to optimize it and to get the right amount of views in the first 2 days, right? So very important, two different strategies, organic and paid for YouTube. Organic is when you post the video, you optimize the title, description, tags, and your thumbnail. That's organic. And as long as you do it properly, you can rank. And then two, which is paid. Now for in-stream ads, you will never run a video that it's right on your channel. You will record a separate video, usually with your phone, and just say, so you're looking for this, and that, and you thought that it's too complicated by now. No problem. I put together this free training class. Hit the link below, and I can't wait to see you there. And I'm also gonna give you this, and that for free if you join. Boom, in-stream ad, awesome. Discovery, again, you'll outrank everybody. You can literally pay 0.01 to 0.05 cents per view. So it's that cheap on both of them. Of course, if I or somebody else come into place and they'll pay more, outrank, but because YouTube is so big and they have so many keywords that you can target, it's literally, you're not gonna find this on any other platform because people are always searching more and more for content. So I hope that makes sense. Platform number two, Facebook. So we all know Facebook also has two sides of the platform, right? Like we got the organic and we got the paid. Now for Facebook, I'm talking from a business page standpoint. So if you're a coach, consultant, or service provider, oftentimes, you may have a business name, and that business name will be, coaching or lifestyle coaching or life coaching with you, or whatever the name of the business will be. It's very important, and especially now, 2019, 2020, 2021, it's important for you to start building your personal brand around the business model that you have, right? So I would highly suggest for you to have a personal brand business page, and it's pretty easy to create. You can Google it, or you can, search it on YouTube, how to create a business page. So you create a business page, it's still under your name, And that's kind of like a little trick, because when you do that and you run ads from it, people think that, oh, this is a person. They don't realize that it's an actual ad until if you do a good job with a hook and you get them into watching a video, you're golden. So organic on Facebook, in my opinion, it's almost dead if you have not built a huge audience by now. So for example, even pages, like look at pages that have millions of followers. And when they go live, they literally have maybe 1,000 people live. I'm not talking about, the Kardashians and rap stars or things like that. I'm talking about people in the business world, right? Like even if you look at Gary Vee or Grant Cardone or people like that have millions of followers and they go live and you only get, in the best time ever, you'll get 2,000 people on it. That's literally, 2%, if that. It's usually way, way less. So that means that organic, it's kind of dead, but that should not discourage you. You should still have your business page optimized properly, because when you run ads, sometimes people want to check your page, right? So don't be discouraged if you didn't build your audience by now. Even like on my page, if you look on Facebook, I got 25,000 likes or 25,000 followers, but when I go live the first time, I only have 10, 20 people live. And then I promote the live video to put it in front of people. And then of course I get the result that I want. So organic on Facebook is when you post an article. It's very important. And this is a tip that I wish I would have known many, many years back. Do not try to not put a link in the description of the post, at least the first 24 hours of when you post the video or the picture or the post, whatever. Don't put a link in there, because Facebook wants people on Facebook. The moment that you put a link in there, done. Just try to post, natively. Like if you have a video, like for example, this video here, you'll be seeing this exact video on Facebook, cut a little bit into smaller pieces, but you'll be seeing it uploaded. Like I said, it's very important for you to not use any links in the description of your post, specifically if you don't run ads to it, right? Like for example, especially in the first 24 hours, don't put a link in the post, don't put a link in the comments, wait the first 24 hours if you really want to get the most out of your organic side of Facebook, right? And again, you can do live videos, and then even though nobody will watch on the organic side, if you're just building your audience, you are able to promote them, and I'll talk about this in the ad section, right? In the paid side of the platform. So in the organic side, you can post everything from videos, live video, pictures. You can now do all kind of like Q&As type of templates. Which one is the best in my scenario and in my experience? Either a video recorded or a live video. Or you can even, like now you can use platforms like OneStream.live, and you can stream a recorded video as live. It's up to you to decide if you want to do that or not. Right? So that's on the organic side. Now, on the paid side, you can run all kinds of paid ads on Facebook. Now, in my experience and the way that we advise all of our clients to do, it's always lead with a value building piece of content. In this scenario, you can take your YouTube video and slice it into a couple videos and then run ads, engagement ads on Facebook to get more people to watch it. The reason for that, and you don't put the call to action still, the reason that you want to do that is you will basically build an audience of people that watches your content. Now, when you do that, you can retarget, and that's point number 2. So retargeting, I'll just abbreviate it right here as a RET, retargeting, you'll get the point for sure. Let's say you put 3 videos with 3 different problem solving. How to do this, this, and that. Like for example, in my scenario, I'll put how to market your coaching business, how to get more clients, and then how to enroll more clients through non-salesly techniques, right? Now, you can then run retargeting of people that watch those videos, and then I can invite people to join my webinar. I can invite people to download something from me. I can invite people to whatever the situation may be. That's where I would do that. And that's how I would highly suggest for all of you to do. Now, of course, there are multiple, I would need just a video on Facebook alone, because you got messenger ads and you got story ads, and you can run conversion ads, and they're like it's insane. It's huge, the amount of things that you can do. But at first, just test the waters, run some video ads with like $3, $4, $5 a day, promote that content to competition's audience, and therefore you can check which competitor's audience works better for you. So I hope that makes sense. Also, when you do a live video, so if I pull my phone now and run a live video, even if nobody watches, I can then run ads and boost that video to more people, for other people to watch my live video. So that's powerful as well. Now, we'll get to platform 3, Instagram. So Instagram, as well as the other two, has an organic side and a paid side, right? Organic on Instagram, in my opinion and in my experience, it becomes harder and harder to build an audience. And I kind of almost hate the word organic, because what happens is you think that it's free, but the time that it takes you to do that, your time is more valuable than just paying somebody to do it. I know at the beginning you'd say, well, yeah, but I don't have money to pay. Well, all right, cool, but then you need to focus on just one platform at a time and then go from there, instead of you just spending time on Instagram alone, because in my opinion, it's the harder to grow from an organic point, right? Like you can use paid ads to complement the organic, and the paid is where you can create predictability. So I hope that makes sense. Now, on the flip side, when you build the organic, post, your feed, I would always suggest for you to either slice those YouTube videos into smaller pieces for Instagram and just focus on that. Because when you do that, somebody that's checking you out on all these platforms, they'll see that you are consistent. He'll consider with one message instead of talking of too many other topics on each platform, right? Like of course, you'll approach it in a different way. Like on IG, you'll put all kinds of emojis on the videos for people to watch. On YouTube, you wouldn't do that. On Facebook, you can as well. It's very important to also maybe put a quote card from that video talking about, something similar. So on the organic side, you got to use hashtags, use stories a lot, live video. But it's important to understand, like if you don't have a lot of followers, it's going to be hard for your live videos to be seen. Therefore, you need to focus on creating problem-solving content, so your audience come, they see what type of content you create, and then they'll stick with you, right? Because even with the paid version, you can kind of run paid ads to all kinds of things to get people to your account, but you can pay people to subscribe to you. Like, yeah, you can buy fake followers, I'm not talking about that. But if people get, like, it's the same thing as on YouTube. You can pay YouTube to get people to your video, but if your video sucks big time, you cannot pay YouTube to force people to watch it. It's actually going against the whole YouTube strategy, algorithm, right? So focus on creating content, like slicing your bigger videos into smaller pieces, focus on stories, use always the location, hashtags, as many as you can to be relevant. And now you can even use the ALT for a picture, so you can actually add some data for description of that picture, right? So that's on the organic side. Now, on the paid side, I would say the best Instagram ads are story ads, right? So let me explain what I mean. Essentially, if you don't have 10,000 followers, you cannot say swipe up, because Instagram will not allow you to put a link in the story for you to swipe up and go to a page. Story ads, Instagram doesn't care. You can literally right this second, you can pause this video, start a new account on Instagram, and then start running ads to do story ads, and you can do it, right? Like you'll pay for every story ad that shows up at somebody's Instagram story. These are powerful. You can also play between Facebook and Instagram, because you can retarget people that, like from an engagement standpoint, people that watched your videos on Facebook, you can retarget them with story ads and say, swipe up and sign up for my webinar. The same thing for retargeting. You can retarget people on Facebook that watch your videos on Instagram, so that's powerful as well. And then 2 will be the feed ads, right? I would say Instagram feed, you should only run them as a retargeting standpoint. Like just running Instagram ads, it's almost the same thing as on Facebook, to be honest, because if you just run ads to a complete cold audience, it's almost like not relevant from the get-go. So that's why you need to nurture them, not for like weeks, but at least the first touch, it's with a free piece of content that you give something valuable. And then, yeah, your second touch would be join my webinar, sign up for my course. download my lead magnet, and all the rest of the stuff, right? The most important and powerful stuff would be for you to retarget people that watch different types of content of yours, and then keep, using that as an omnipresent effect. Platform 4. This is a platform that a lot of people forget about, I would say, like now, because social media is so much of a trend. People forget about Google, but Google is the platform that actually makes billions of dollars every year from advertising budgets alone. So people paying Google to promote their services and products on Google. For instance, on Google, you pay almost the same way as you pay on YouTube. Like one strategy for keywords, pay for Google to show your pages, your articles, your website, your funnels in front of people that search for specific phrases or keywords, right? Now, on the organic side, you need to focus on search engine optimization, SEO. That when you write an article and it's SEO optimized, people will search for that topic, and then you'll put your article in front of them through SEO. Now, this is a really long-term game, way longer than YouTube. So you want to, I would say if you ask me, this would be the last thing that you'll focus on, unless you have an infrastructure with a team that can really do the research. So for example, what I do, every time when I post a video, like for example, how to market your coaching business, will be sent to iWriter.com, which is a site that, a lot of bloggers write articles for different business owners like me and you. You give them the title, the headline, and they'll do it for you. Now, then you can embed your video into the article, and when you run ads on Google, for example, or you SEO optimize your articles, if people are finding it, then you can also have your video on that page. So that will just improve the user experience. People will get to the page and also watch the video maybe, and then it's all of a sudden they go together. And on top of that, you can also retarget people that watch the video. But this one here, it's a long-term game. Google changes their algorithm every year, or if not a couple times a year. So this really takes time, and I would highly suggest against just starting to learn all these platforms, because you're not going to have time to run your business anymore. You're just going to run the small little piece of just the marketing side of like the promotion of it, right? So it's very important to pick one platform. Yes, have some sort of content on all of them, but then slowly start to outsource. Like don't ever try to run all of these yourself. So organic, again, SEO optimize, search engine optimization, all your articles, your website, and then you go for part 2 of the story, I guess, the Google Ads. They used to be called Google AdWords, but now they call Google Ads. They do the same thing. It's very important to understand Google AdWords don't really like that much a registration page of a webinar or a lead magnet page. They're not really the big fan of that. Because of that, you need to really focus on creating some content if you plan to just promote your webinar registration with Google. Now, the reason that I mentioned webinar is when you run Google Ads, usually they're pretty expensive. So you got 2 ways to do it. One, either run ads to long tail keywords around your blog articles and then retarget people on all these platforms for joining your webinar. Don't try to just go straight to a registration page, because that would be one of the most expensive ways that you would do Google Ads. It'll take your money like right away. And of course, you can bid per day. So if you don't want to spend more than like $50 a day, of course, they won't take more than $50. But in order for you to get the best results, I would say you can run ads around the blog article, around the problem that people are searching for. And then since you promote that article, then you can do when people land on the blog itself, as long as you use retargeting pixels from all of these. And essentially, like a side note, where a retargeting pixel is, it's a small piece of code that you would get from all these platforms, like YouTube has it, Facebook has it, Instagram has it, and you place it in or you just call your web guy and he'll place it in the header of the article, and that way you can retarget people on all the platforms. So a strategy would be run ads to an article that has a YouTube video embedded. People that find the article, you'll be able to show all kinds of ads around the other platform. So super powerful. Of course, it's Google. We're talking about the biggest search engine in the world. So it's super powerful. All right, so number 5, podcast. So the reason that I wanted to mention at least a little bit about podcasts so you know. Essentially, you can just rip the audio from a YouTube video. Like for example, this video itself will become an audio version, will become a podcast episode. I'll just record a small intro and an outro, and therefore, I'll have another piece of content. So I'll be repurposing that content. Now, organic side of it, taken 3 different podcast courses. Nobody has yet to figure out exactly how iTunes really work to really, rank your podcast for free in iTunes. So you'll have to, use the tags, use the description the same way that you would use it for Google from a search engine optimization standpoint. Now, it's important to understand people do listen to podcasts a lot. Like when I commute, I always listen to podcasts. When I go to the gym, I don't have a dog, but when you walk your dog, when people walk their dogs or their pets in the park, a lot of people do listen to podcasts. When you just walk in the park or whatever, a lot of people listen to podcasts. So if you have a way to start the podcast, I would say, again, be consistent with the same message on all of these to make sure that when people search you and they find you on your podcast, you talk about the same things. So again, organic is where people find your podcast based on keywords on iTunes. And then the paid version of it, on podcast ads, you have basically 2 ways to do it. You can either grab the link from iTunes and create YouTube ads to promote your podcast, Facebook video ads to promote your podcast, Instagram story ads, Google ads I would not recommend to run for your podcast because they'll become pretty expensive. But another way to do it, so it'll be either, I'll put social media ads, or you can do sponsorships on other podcasts. So there are, I don't remember now from the top of my head the platform, but it is a website that allows you to put your podcast on other people's podcasts that have bigger audiences than you. I know one of the smaller packages was like 250 a month, and you can get up to like kind of 10,000 ears on your show, right? So the way that you would monetize from these would be at the beginning and at the end of your podcast, you would use your free course, your lead magnet, your webinar registration. I'm not talking about how you can promote and market your coaching business in a podcast that you're trying to get sponsorship yourself. No, it's not about you talking about a t-shirt or an iPhone case or whatever. It's about you talking about, like for example, the podcast episode about how to market your coaching business. It'll be about these platforms. And at the beginning and at the end, I'll tell people you can go and sign up for this free training class. You can go and book a call with us. You can go and do this, and that. You can do essentially the same thing on yours as well. And the only reason that you will promote, the reason that you'll sponsor your podcast on other people's podcasts is for you to get multiple leads. It's important for you to optimize your intro and outro, and I'll put the link in the description below of my podcast, and you can check it out. But you essentially want to have it optimized for lead generation, right? Like at the beginning and at the end, you should mention something, either, subscribe to my podcast for maybe a giveaway, subscribe to my podcast for a shout out on my show. Whatever the situation may be, you need to tell them something at the beginning and at the end in order for them to become a lead. Book a call, download a blueprint, free course, whatever it is, you need to optimize it first before you would promote it. All right, so I know we've talked about a lot of platforms, and I know this video, it's packed with a lot of things, but if you use at least one platform out of all of these 5, you can take your coaching business to a whole new level. It's important for you to understand the organic versus paid side of every one of them. And the reason for that is, they have their own advantages and disadvantages. They have their own pros and cons. One is organic. In my scenario, even if organic is free, you would say that, but it's not really free if you have to put your time in, right? So if that's the case, you need to consider how can you maximize the time that you put into the organic, either outsource it, either have a full-time employee doing it, a virtual assistant, maybe, some of your family members, teach them how to do it. Do it yourself a couple of times, record yourself while you're doing it. When you do that, it's gonna be a game changer for you because you can, save some time. But essentially, this is how you market your coaching business. And if you do it at least with one of the platforms and just stick with it. My advice for 2019 and moving forward would be for you to focus on YouTube, both from growing the audience and getting a quick signups and registration for your webinars and things like that, because this is the most powerful platform in my opinion. All right, so don't forget, wait until the end, because I'll put a couple other videos that you can watch, and some of them will teach you individual strategies. So stick around for a couple more seconds. It's very important to understand again that only paid advertising will bring you predictability in your business. All right, so keep that in mind and decide which platform will work best, and just start with one and then move forward with the other ones. Yo, don't go anywhere. Hit these 2 other videos because I'm gonna have so much more information to share with you, and I'm pretty sure you can get some cool, valuable, and actionable steps. So just click one of these 2 and I'll see you on the other side. Take care.